All right, it's a Groundhog Day again. Back at it. And today we got a nor'easter rolling through, so we got a ton of rain and a bunch of wind and whatnot. And tried to give the dog a bunch of attention this morning. He's being a little fussy, so I'll probably have to deal with him a few times. But anyway, not that that matters to you guys, but I'm gonna get back on this thing, get back on the floor, see about getting this quarter kind of attached and somewhat and whatnot. And then the big gamble is going to be trying to get this thing turned around in the driveway to get it backed in so I can do the other side of all this work, because there's really not enough room the way the garage is laid out with my brother's bike here and all the shelving here. My Camaro on that side, it's better to tuck it to the Camaro, and then I got this void here in the middle to work with. So that's going to be fun. Hopefully, once I'm wrapped up with this side, we're in a lull of the rain. Let's see what happens. And got the argon bottle swapped out so I can use the good MIG again. And as a follow up from yesterday, if you guys didn't see yesterday's video, but this rocker is in. A lot of the floor patching is done around the corner, and it's not right, it's not proper, but it's solid. It's good enough for what this is going to be right now. That'll be redone later on, and so I'll finish up in there, and then I'll work on this fender, because this fender is just kind of doing one of these. I'm going to work on that, and I highly doubt there'll be any time to deal with that fender. That will call that character. So yeah, I'll get back to it. And first off, I got to clean the shop. It is a disaster. Tons of grinding material, scraps, rust, and everything else. I can't work in this. I got to clean this first. Wish me luck. It's Thursday, and it starts tomorrow afternoon. So there's no way I'm making it for tomorrow. Hopefully I can make it for Saturday morning if I really, really, really push hard. See what happens. Well, the last of the surface patches are in the floor. I still got to do the braces from underneath, extend them out from where they are out to the rockers, and then this will be done. But getting the itch to take the dog for a walk. So I'm gonna go deal with the dog, and then I'll come back and I may start messing with the quarter panel or those rocker braces. Something. I just want to wrap up this whole side and then be ready to spin the thing around. That's gonna be fun. Oh boy. Well, this side floor, rocker, and braces and everything are as done as they're going to get done for now. I just wrapped up the braces up underneath, extending those in. Not a perfect job, but they're solid. They're not perfect, but they're stronger than what was in there from the factory, probably. So, yeah, so there's one. I built that out of the same 2-inch square stock as this. And then there's the other one. So overall, not too bad. Welded to the original. The inside, tacked to the floor in a couple of places along there, and then welded along the frame. I mean, along the rocker. So that's pretty solid. All right, now to get my head in the game on what's the best plan with these floppy quarter panels. Back edge is rotted off. All those trim pieces are screwed on from the surface, and none of the rest of the trim's on here. So I'm gonna rip that trim off and see if I can square this thing up without having to cut it off and refit it. But I'll just do whatever I have to do. Well, excuse me. I just spent way too much time messing with that quarter panel, and we may have to call this car Patches. That might be its new nickname. Or either that, I was thinking F-bomb, because it's a fleet line for the F, and a bomb is what they call this body style of a car, this era of a car. They call them bombs. So I wonder if I should call it the F-bomb. It was already taken for a green, like 70 to 73 Camaro, but it might fit for this one. F-bomb, what do you think? Or Patches. It's got to come up with some sort of name. But yeah, so I got the quarter off, got all the bolts broken out of it, and got the thing lined up. And I just surface tacked it, and then this whole back corner was missing, and the whole bottom's rotted off. So I had this other one that's only rotted a little bit, but it's still rotted. So I skinned that just right over it, but the quarter was pretty much touching the wheel well. I mean the tire. Once I got it all positioned and lining up with the rest of the body here. So I cut this open from here all the way down, took a triangle out of it, bowed that back, and then like I said, this is just surface mounted on there. But now that follows the radius of the tire, about the same front to rear, and looks a little bit better. Now I gotta do a ton of cleanup, and I gotta come up with a plan to get into the other side. It's raining a good amount, and am I going to pull it out, turn it all the way around again, or am I going to get it running? Am I going to shuffle it over enough to get it running and drive it around and back it in, because I got to do that anyway. Either way, we'll see what happens. I got to start with cleaning up, because there's a mountain of trash and scrap metal and everything piled under here from this side. So I'm going to get all that out and cleaned up, and then I think I already covered it, but the floor is what it is. It's done on this side. The other side better go faster. I've dropped my standards even lower. That was a pain in the butt. Car's wet now. See all that grinding dust? It's all metal ground sitting on there. It's going to add to the patina real nice. But yeah, that was a little fun. Slipping and sliding, almost went on my butt a couple of times, but got her spun around. She's back in, and I have to take the dog out so we can go to the bathroom, and then start getting this jacked up and start working on it. Still need a lot of luck, guys. Well, apparently this door is shaped a little different than the other door. I mean, it's a 48. It's not that old. How could there be any variances? But yeah, so this one I bent them both to match the other side, and now I got everything cut out of the way to fit in this side. It was bent a little too much, so I tried pounding it, get it in shape. It wouldn't go, so I had to get the Silverado bender out again and back over it the opposite way. One shot, straighten it right out exactly where I need. Perfect. Well, I was gonna keep going, but my brother made burgers, and I stopped, went inside and ate, and it was kind of late. It's almost midnight, so I'm gonna call it. And rather than work late and wake up later, I'll just get up earlier and get started in the morning. But this is where we landed. This rocker is all tacked in. Filler pieces are all tacked in. Front floor is in. I got to do a small piece here, and I was working on a piece around the corner here just before he called me in for dinner. And yeah, so rock is in, and that's solid. That's rock solid. So yeah, there's that. And then I don't know if I did a check-in on the other side, but I ended up ripping the fender off and just tacking it on. So that's a little more solid. And I had another fender that wasn't as bad in the back, so I just overlaid and tacked this on here just so it's reasonably solid. And it was really close to the back of the tire, pretty much touching. So I cut a little piece of pie out of it and brought that in closer to open up that wheel well more. So now it kind of matches the front better. And yeah, and just tack that together and then just tack this on. None of it's perfect. Here's what it is. It did go out in the rain and the welds are already patinaing. Yeah, and then obviously that rock is done. Floors are done on this side. And got it out and spun around. And I did all those braces. Yeah, I did all the braces underneath on that side today also. So, yeah, so in the morning I'll finish up those patches. I'll get the braces on. And just remembered, I'd taken this out while I was messing with the fender. This has to go back in. This absolutely has to go back in. This is, you can't fake this. That's how I got it out of the junkyard, with that petrified rag hanging out of what the gas filler would have been. That is staying there. Yeah, that's not where the tank will be fed from anymore. So like that's gonna stay there. I think that's absolutely priceless. So anyway, I will check in the morning, and it seems like I think tomorrow is going to be a rain out there anyway. So not being there on Friday isn't the end of the world. But I'm going, excuse me. Like I said, it is kind of midnight. So yeah, tomorrow it'll be finish up the floors, the braces, and then I'll put the gauges in it, wire the ignition, put the fuel system in. My brother's going to be here, so I'll actually get him to give me a hand bleeding the brakes one last time so I can have somebody in there pumping the brakes. And I got to put the hood latch in and whatever other doodads I can get. So once all the floors are patched and this thing's back on the ground and it's wired, even if I fill up the cob and just run it with that for a minute, I need to at least do a burnout in the garage just to know, is it even going to? Is there going to be a tragedy? I might have to run down to my storage and grab a set of traction bars I have down there, because I totally forgot to lower this thing. I took out a couple of leaf springs, so it's only got 2 leaf springs in it. And a lot of the times when the leaf springs ain't very firm, they'll kind of bounce back and forth, like they'll go when you're trying to do a burnout, and cause massive amounts of wheel hop. If so, it's just going to tear things apart. So I may have to make the 2-hour round trip down to grab traction bars and get those mounted on here for that. And I may also grab shorter lowering blocks, because I have 3-inch lowering ones now, and with the taller axle tubes I only got a little over like 1.5 inches to the frame, and it's bottoming out pretty easy, just me bouncing on the back. So I may take out that 3-inch block, put in a 2-inch block, and probably be good. So got a lot to do tomorrow, but I don't know, it's feeling more and more hopeful. I say that now. I could just be delirious. Anyway, thank you all for watching. And whatnot. I can't believe how much the YouTube channel has grown just in this one little project. Pretty excited. That's huge, because once I'm done with my house, I want to focus on doing stuff like this all the time. So that would be awesome if that can kind of take off. So if you guys can share, subscribe, all that jazz, it all helps. And I appreciate it a ton. And when this is done, and at the dragway, I'm praying I make it, there will be footage from the dragway for sure, one way or another. Thanks again. You guys are awesome.